Hey team, Coach Shauna here. So today I wanted to talk about consistency. And before you stop the recording or run away from this film, I'm going to be pretty blunt about all of this today because it is something that is very frustrating for me as a nutrition coach, and it also breaks my heart when this happens. When I have a client who cancels their coaching or emails me or texts me and needs to put their coaching on hold because life gets in the way and things have gotten overwhelming for them, these are more often than not the clients that need my help the most. They are the ones that tend to be carrying the most weight, have been struggling with their nutrition for years, and they don't have the time anymore to put their nutrition on hold, and they think that it's something that has to be, they have to have all this brain power to focus. And it's so frustrating for me as a coach because this is the time that you need to figure out your nutrition more than ever, because life keeps happening. Life is always going to happen, and you guys are never gonna find the right time to get your nutrition dialed in because we have to freaking eat. We have to eat, right? So all of the habits that you've had leading up to today are the habits that you're going to continue to have if you don't change them. And I know firsthand how overwhelming it is. I was talking to one of my clients yesterday. She's a young woman, she's in her mid-20s. And I was telling her how jealous I was that she's figuring this stuff out now and she's working on this stuff now, because now she's going to be able to live this badass life for the rest of her life, learning how to fuel her body for what she wants and the goals that she wants to achieve, instead of struggling with all these pressures to be skinny and to starve herself and to diet and to be stuck in this cycle. I know this firsthand because I've been there. This is a huge reason that I am a nutrition coach. I spent the majority of my 20s hating myself, starving myself. I was bulimic for a while when I was in my early 20s. I managed a lot of my weight by full transparency, drugs and alcohol, or alcohol actually made me fat, and then I did drugs to counterbalance that. I smoked cigarettes, and I used food. So in my early 20s, I binged and purged because I had a boyfriend that was a bodybuilder, and I thought that I wasn't good enough based on how my physique looked, and that I needed to be skinnier. Especially, I'm from New England and moving to Southern California, where there are all these beautiful blonde women. Sorry, it seems like most of them are blonde. Even if they're not blonde, they end up blonde, right? So like all these women that were beautiful, and I felt ugly and fat. And so I started, and I wasn't. I was a healthy weight. Maybe I could trim down some, maybe I could get a little bit more fit, but I wasn't like massively overweight. But I thought that I was, and then I thought I wasn't good enough. So I starved myself. And then I learned how to binge and purge. I mean, I was so bad at one point, I would eat a Snickers bar and chew it up and spit it out because I thought that I just wanted the feeling of the taste in my mouth or something. But the reality was I was starving myself. So my poor fucking body was like, feed me, you asshole. And so then I learned how to binge because I was so hungry all the time. And he and I broke up. And then I spent, my mid-20s from 23 to 25, 26 using food as a punishment, where if I was you suck, why are you so worthless, blah blah blah, in my head, the horrible things that I would say to myself, I had a go-to of I was young, so give me some space for being making really poor choices, but I would drink a bottle of white Zinfandel, and I would eat a bag of ridged barbecue potato chips with a tub of sour cream and a pint of Ben and Jerry's half baked, still my favorite ice cream. And I would eat the whole thing, which is probably like 4,000 or 5,000 calories. And I would just gorge on it. And then I would feel like shit and I would hate myself even more. And that was the cycle I thought I deserved to be in. And it was just like, see, you suck. Look at you now, you binge. See how bad you suck? It wasn't until like my late 20s that I went to therapy and I understood why I did drugs and alcohol, why I thought I needed to be skinny, all of these, things, demons in my head that I had. I learned to address those, that I started to come to light. But it wasn't really until I was 35 or 36 years old that I really embraced my nutrition fully, to where I learned that food is fuel. And I know, so I'm a coach through Precision Nutrition, and I know that one of their things is they don't like it when we say food is fuel, because it is so much more than that. But it is also fuel, right? It's what we need to make these bodies run. And instead of using it as a weapon, or instead of using it just to get by, we have this opportunity to use it to fuel our amazing lives and to make us feel amazing. But we have to work on that relationship. And it's never gonna get easier if you don't stop quitting and you don't start, nope, I didn't want to say that. If you don't stop quitting and you don't stop stopping, and because your cycles are what got you here. And if you are someone that's super struggling with weight, if you spend another 4 or 5 years doing this, where are you going to be in another 4 or 5 years? And I'm not saying this because I want you as a client. I'm saying this because I absolutely, especially if you're a woman, I love all human beings equally, but I definitely relate to other women, right? And I relate to how it sometimes feels like society pressures us to be have these perfect bodies and look and feel a certain way. And I know if you follow me on my social media, you might think, oh, it's so easy for you. Look at how lean you are. Look how active you are. It isn't. I have my own struggles. I make my own mistakes with food. Everybody does. But the one thing that I've learned, the reason that I can manage my physique that I have, is that it's consistency. That is the 100% key. I fuck up all the time, but those fuck ups are small, right? So like if I have a day where I emotionally eat, I'm not going to be eating 10,000 calories. I'm going to be making a small poor decision, or I know during my PMS week that I'm going to want sweet. So I factor in how that's going to look in my diet, and then I find balance in other places. When I obtained the physique that I have now, when I stopped dieting and when I started feeding my body for what I wanted it to be able to do, and when I started loving the body that I had. And I'm going to be totally honest with you. Most of the clients I have, most of them are women, and most of them don't have six packs. And we don't aspire necessarily right now to have six packs. Most of my clients have changed their relationships with food to where they recognize how amazing food is, and they see how powerful it can be to fuel their lives. And they get to have pizza and tacos and hamburgers and go out for wine with their friends. And I have a client who she carries quite a bit of extra weight for her frame. And her goal when she and I first started working was she just wanted to eat like a normal person. She wanted to be able to have a weekend where she would go out with her friends and she could enjoy what life had to offer. She wasn't binging. She wasn't eating excess amounts. And then, come Monday morning, her weight wasn't going to be 5 or 6 pounds up. She just wanted her body to be able to process normal foods. And that's a huge win because we're there. Or she has made it through COVID without gaining any weight, which is freaking huge because her habits used to be that she would binge. And that's where most of my clients are. Most of my clients are not, we've switched that mindset and made them realize that they focus first on living this amazing life, and then how does food fit into that amazing life? Instead of making food something that either is you're using it because you hate yourself or you're using it just to get by. I've taught my clients, again, primarily women, but I've taught them to use food as just the amazing thing that it is, where they can have that balance between, you know, eating tacos and wine and then having the chicken salad to counteract how many calories they've had. And then, you know, they get to go and make massive PRs in the gym and build muscle and fuel their runs and, you know, enjoy everything. So yeah, so stop stopping. Please, for the love of God, stop stopping. Stop dieting. Stop deciding tomorrow is the day I'm going to reset. Reset right fucking now. Reset in this very moment. If you had a shitty morning, who the fuck cares? Have a good lunch and then move on. You know, if you feel like trying to do all of the things at once is too hard, it's because it is. Find one habit that will make a difference and then get that habit ingrained and then build on it and make more small changes. And that's where you get losing the weight and you get the physique. And it's going to take time, guys. You're not going to reach that goal in 6 months or a year. I mean, like I was saying, I started this journey when I was 35 to the physique that I have now. And it was probably until like 37, 38 where I really started to trim down. It's because I had a whole bunch of habits that I had to undo. And I know that might feel overwhelming because you want it tomorrow. But if you say you want it tomorrow, then why aren't you starting today? And if you say you want it tomorrow, why aren't you staying committed when things get rocky? Because that is life. Things get rocky. And tomorrow is going to come. It might not be actually physically tomorrow, but it's going to come sooner than you realize. And in the meantime, you can have a life you enjoy, a food you enjoy. You just have to commit to it, and you have to commit to stopping. All right. I love you guys. I have tried to communicate. If you need help, if you have, want to know what your biggest habit is to change first, I don't charge for consultations. You can have 30 minutes of my time for free because I do very much value and love what I do, and I very much value helping you get your goals on track. And after that, yes, I charge because I have come to appreciate my time is valuable, and I want to know that you're committed as well. But yeah, if you guys need help, email me, coaching@shaunanorton.com. Find me on Instagram, find me on Facebook, comment down below on this YouTube. But please, 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 please stop stopping. Find one little change and make that change, and then let's build on that. I promise you that is the key to permanent weight loss. I promise you, come hell or high water, that's where it starts. We make one little habit and then we build on those. All right, I love you guys. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will see you all at some point next week.